Super Mario Galaxy movie is out, and I just saw it. So let's talk about it. So I will say I'm going to be spoiling this movie, huge spoiler alert, but I really can't talk about it without spoiling things. So if you plan on seeing it, go see it and come back, see what I have to say if you're still interested. If you don't care or you've already seen it, keep watching. So, I should probably talk about the first movie a little bit because this kind of ties into my feelings about this one. So, in the first movie, I basically said it's not a good movie, but it's fun. If you're a fan, it's a really fun movie. They really doubled down on that here. Like, you thought the first one's pacing was bad, this one's pacing is even worse. You thought the first one had a bunch of references, this one has even more. You thought the first one had no story, no character, this one has even less story and less character. So it's like, it's for good and for bad, it's more of the same. Which is good if you're a fan and you like that kind of stuff about the first one. If you didn't, or you're hoping this one would be better or, fix some of the issues with the first one, you're out of luck. It's no wonder the critics hate this one even more than the first, because they doubled down on everything that's both good and bad about the first movie. So anyway, what's the plot? Well, basically, Bowser Jr. wants to free his dad, and he's captured Rosalina, who does nothing in this movie. All the stuff you see in the previews? I hope you like that, because that's all she does in this movie. In the rest of the movie, she's captured. Yep, she's basically taken the place of Princess Peach. So, yeah, sorry to any Rosalina fans out there. But yeah, so they capture Rosalina because apparently she powers a Boomsday device, which is a device that Bowser Jr. and Bowser want to use to destroy the galaxy. Which, by the way, they never explain why they want to destroy the galaxy. They just want to do it. Like, wouldn't there be nothing for you to rule if you destroy everything? Like, I don't know, like I said, they never explain it. But that's kind of been a problem with, like I said, this movie has no story. Anyway. And so Mario, Luigi, Toad, Peach, and Yoshi have to stop them. And Fox McCloud, apparently, because he's here too. They actually do explain how he got here, so that's kind of funny too. Like, I didn't think they would explain it. I thought it'd just be like, why is he here? That's why. No explanation. But they actually, one of the few things in this movie that's actually explained. Speaking of pointless characters, why is Yoshi here? Like, don't get me wrong, I like Yoshi, he's cute in this movie and everything like that, but he does nothing to impact the plot. Like, I thought what they were going to do from the previews was that, since Luigi and Bowser kind of had, like, this thing going, like, trying to be nice to each other, that there'd be, like, this arc about them learning to be fathers, Bowser with his son and Luigi with Yoshi, Mama Luigi, and all that stuff. But no, nothing like that. A huge missed opportunity. So Yoshi's just kind of there. He does nothing for the plot. And, of course, he doesn't really talk or anything, so he adds nothing there. So, yeah, pointless. Anyway, so when they find out that Rosalina's been kidnapped, they kind of go their separate ways. Peach takes Toad, and Mario, Luigi, and Yoshi basically do their own thing too. And I'm like, and Peach goes to that, Mario, basically Mario 2 Land, that big casino where Wart, Birdo, and all those other characters are. And it's completely pointless, because what happens is Rosalina and Luma are captured, and then Luma escapes and goes to Peach, saying, help us. And she's like, okay, show me where it is. But why doesn't the Luma take her to where Bowser Jr. is? Why does the Luma take them to this casino area on this, like, airport planet? It's like, no, bring her to Rosalina. Why are you bringing her here? Like, and she asks Wart, like, where's Rosalina? It's like, Peach, you know where she is. The Luma just told you. Like, why are you doing this detour? And it's because they have to do more references. That's the only reason she goes to this place with all the Super Mario Bros. 2 characters are, because reference. Not because it actually impacts the story. In fact, it's a huge plot hole. There's a lot of plot holes in this movie, I would say, because there's just so many pointless scenes that are only there for references. And, it's great seeing that stuff. It was funny to see Birdo and Wart and all these Mario 2 characters. But when you step back for a second, it's like, wait, this didn't need to happen. Like, there's no point to it, really, because Peach already knows where Rosalina is. Why didn't the Luma take her to Rosalina? And the Luma knows where Rosalina is because she went from Rosalina, from where she was captured, to Peach. So why did they take this detour? It makes no sense. But anyway, whatever. So eventually they all meet up, Fox and the other Mario characters, and they have a big battle with Bowser and Bowser Jr. and all this stuff. And oh, by the way, Rosalina and Peach are sisters. Yeah, they're actually related, which wasn't that a fan theory for the longest time? Like, everyone thought that maybe Rosalina was her mom. No, apparently they're sisters. Now, I don't remember this ever being confirmed from Nintendo. They always kept it really vague if there's any relationship between Rosalina and Peach, from what I remember. And then it's like, no, they're sisters, and apparently Peach has this cosmic power too. I guess that's why she's so capable. Although you'd think the older sister of Peach would be way more capable too, but apparently not. She has to be the damsel in distress, so whatever. And also, what's annoying is that Peach in the first movie and in this movie are like, I never knew my family. I know I want my family, and all that other stuff. And when she finally meets Rosalina at the very end, they barely share any words to each other. Like they have barely any screen time because everything moves so fast in this movie that nothing. There's no emotion. There's no anything between the characters. There's no character arcs. No anything because it's so fast paced and everyone's the same as they were in the beginning. No one grows. No one learns a lesson. Nobody does anything. It's just random stuff happening all the time. And again, that's fun for a fan, but it's no wonder the critics hated this movie because it's just, random stuff after random stuff, It's, like I said, it's reference after reference, basically. I don't know. And also there's an end credit scene where they show Daisy, which was very nice. She looks like you'd expect her. She looks beautiful. And I'm kind of concerned because it's like, if they didn't do anything with Rosalina, are they even going to do anything with Daisy? Is this going to be her only appearance in the post-credit scene? Because they always gave Rosalina more favoritism over Daisy, and if they could even give her anything in the Mario Galaxy movie, then what are they going to do with Daisy? But first of all, why is this called the Mario Galaxy movie? It should have been called the Mario franchise movie, because that's what it was. It doesn't really have that much to do with Galaxy. And like I said, Rosalina's barely in it, and, it feels like more of a Star Fox movie than a Mario Galaxy movie, because Fox is the one, flying them around the galaxy and stuff like that, so, yeah, it feels more like a Star Fox movie at some points, which, by the way, Fox is one of the best parts of the movie. I don't know if I said that yet, but he is. He's one of the best parts of the movie, and I want a Star Fox movie now. And I want a new game. Apparently they're making a new one. So, great way to advertise it, because, yeah, I want more Star Fox stuff now. Hearing that Star Fox music and all that other stuff, it was just great as a Star Fox fan. Because we get nothing, basically, us Star Fox fans. But, yeah. So, I will say, despite all of my problems with the movie, and there are a lot of problems, I still enjoyed it. Like I was saying, I was having a blast watching it, but it's when you think about it afterward. I was pretty satisfied with it after it was done, especially after seeing Daisy in the post-credits scene. That was a really happy note for me to end on. But then it's I think about it for a minute, I'm like, wait a minute, half this movie didn't even need to happen. It's and it was only done for reference, humor and stuff like that. And it's yeah, it's just like the first movie, except worse, it's even more reference heavy and has even less story. And I guess the sad part is there was so much more potential to do. The fact that they wanted to drop that bomb that Peach and Rosalina are sisters, but they do nothing with it. That's a huge revelation, isn't it? That these two are actually related, and Peach finally finds her family, and they do nothing with it. They barely share the screen, and they say 2 lines to each other. It's this should be a huge deal. I would say that's probably for the sequel, but I said that about the first one too. I was like, oh, there's lots of stuff they could do with the sequel, and they do nothing. It's they barely do anything. It's you can't expect any kind of story or character with these movies. And I'm okay with the story not being good, because it's the Sonic movie stories aren't good either. They're just ripped right from the games. But they have good characters to go along with it. The characters actually go through arcs, They have, there's a lot going on with the characters. Characters can save a bad story. I've always said that. A good story cannot work with bad characters, but good characters can save a lackluster story. And that's what easily could have happened here. I see so much things they could have done, but they don't even really tap into it at all. Also, the fact that it looked like Bowser was going to be a good guy for a while. I mean, we all knew he wasn't, so we all knew it was not going to happen. But just the fact that there was at least one part of the movie where it looked like he was going to be good, it was something, but it didn't last very long. And it was back to the status quo as usual. So, yeah, like I said, a lot of wasted potential. But it is what it is, I guess. Like I said, this movie's going to make $1 billion. It doesn't matter what I say. It doesn't matter what anyone's going to say, And like I said, I still did enjoy it. But I think much like the first one, I said that it's a movie I probably won't be returning to. I think this is the same way, too. I'm not going to be returning to this movie to see it again, because there's really no point. There's nothing that would make me want to see it again. I saw it already, And it's there's nothing to go back, really, for. I'm glad I saw it. It was fun. Kids are going to love it. Fans are going to love it. Everyone else is going to absolutely hate it. I kind of feel really bad for the parents that have to sit through this, because they're not going to know what the heck is going on. Both from a Mario standpoint and from a movie standpoint. It's they're what the heck? They're probably going to be questioning the whole time. Wait, why did this happen? Who's that? What's going on? Why are they doing this? Shouldn't they be doing this? It's there's so many things you could point out if you're judging the movie by that, which is what the critics have to do. It's their job, But it's just one of those things where it's yeah, this was clearly made just for kids, for the fans, and That's all they have to do. That alone made the first one $1 billion. Why should they change? It's kind of like the Pokemon problem. Why should Pokemon change when it still makes so much money? It doesn't matter if it's good or not. And unfortunately, that may be a Nintendo problem now. I don't know. I call it the Pokemon problem, but maybe it's a Nintendo movie problem too. But we'll have to wait and see. We still have like that Zelda movie coming out. We'll see what that's really going to be interesting to see. There's a lot of rumors about future movies from Nintendo. We might get a Star Fox one now. I don't know. We might get a Donkey Kong one. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. We're not getting a Smash Brothers movie, according to Shigeru Miyamoto. He's like, that's not going to happen. Because, yeah, I mean, the licensing would be insane. You think it's hard for the games? It's even harder for a Hollywood movie. But that's a discussion for another time. Anyway, what did you guys think of the movie if you've seen it? Like I said, I think it was fun. It's not a good movie whatsoever. I guess I can call it a guilty pleasure, just like the first one. I'm glad I saw it. Really fun, to see these characters and stuff. But boy, is it a bad movie. It's gonna get away with it because much like Pokemon, people just love this franchise and they love the characters. They don't seem to care if it's good. But I hope one day we can get these kind of movies, but with actual good story, or at the very least very good characters. But maybe that's wishful thinking. But anyway, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you next time.